Turkey Day, Thanksgiving, whatever you call it. It's my favorite time of the year to play fantasy football. And I'm having special contests, promotions, and Turkey Day strategies for fantasy football that I will reveal in this video. What's going on, fantasy football fans? I'm your host, Hussein the Brain, and you're watching The Couch. These are my Week 12 NFL DFS picks for Turkey Day. So I hopped on the phone with DraftKings and I was like, hey, DK, we got to do something dope for our fans. Turkey Day is my favorite day to play. So what can we do to make my fans happy? Let's give them something awesome. Okay, we can't give them a turkey, but let's give them an awesome fantasy football contest, and they said yes. So this is the biggest Turkey Day contest, NFL Mini Wishbone Contest Classic. First place winner wins $50,000. It's only $3 to enter if it's your first time playing on DraftKings and you deposit for the first time, you will get free entry into this contest. Make sure you guys get your lineups in before 12:30 p.m. Eastern time. That's when the first game kicks off Thursday. Make sure you get your lineups in well before that first game kicks off. To enter the contest, all you got to do is follow the link below, pick your team, hit enter. It's as easy as that. Also, DraftKings is going to match your first deposit up to 10 bucks. So if you deposit 10 bucks, they'll give you 10 bucks of DraftKings credit. Thank you so much, DK, for hooking us up. All right, guys, so what are we going to talk about this video? We're going to do it different than everybody else. What I'm gonna do is tell you what not to do. Don't do this. Don't do that. This is not good. I'm gonna give you logical steps to follow so you can avoid having a crappy lineup or a lineup that doesn't make sense. So what's the goal with these Turkey Day slates? Okay, so the games are Thursday. There's 3 games. I prefer to play GPPs. I love playing GPPs. I go hard on the Turkey Day games. The goal in these Turkey Day contests is to pick a lineup that's unique, that a lot of other people won't have. Another goal is to pick a lineup that's gonna have a lot of upside, and we don't care about risk when we're playing these GPP lineups with only 3 NFL games. So for quarterbacks, I'm going to fade, which means avoid, Matthew Stafford. He's 6,000 going against the Vikings. So there's only 6 quarterbacks, right? So if we can avoid even one, that's going to dramatically, make things easier for us. I watched the Vikings defense and their stats are okay. But as far as the eye test, I think this Vikings defense is legit. Now there's some risk here that Matthew Stafford may have one of his miraculous fourth quarter comebacks. I think the Vikings will keep the Lions in check most of the game, and if they can finish strong, Stafford is going to definitely be a quarterback to avoid. Another quarterback I totally avoid would be Dak Prescott if Tyron Smith is out. That's the left tackle for the Cowboys. If Tyron Smith is playing, then Dak Prescott, hey, he could be okay. I see him being all right. He's kind of a guy that I may not even stack though, because Dez Bryant has been not good. I mean, ever since Tony Romo's left that team, Dez Bryant hasn't really been that elite wide receiver 1 that we've come accustomed to. And this year compared to last year, Cole Beasley hasn't done much either. Okay, so who does that leave us with? That leaves us with Cousins, Rivers, Keenum, and Eli Manning. We'll say that Kirk Cousins is going to be chalk. I remember I picked him last Thanksgiving. He was awesome. And, you had to pick him to win big. And thankfully, I had Kirk Cousins and Deshaun Jackson. And it was a sweet matchup. And there's really a lot of ways you can go. For example, if I were to go Case Keenum, I might, to make the lineup more unique, I might stack him with someone like Jerick McKinnon, who catches a lot of passes. And I think that's going to be a good creative stack. Now, a common stack would be if people pick Case Keenum, who I expect people will pick Case Keenum this contest a lot. I think they'll stack him with someone like Adam Thielen. You can do something different, do something more unique, like I was saying, and maybe stack him with McKinnon and or Kyle Rudolph. I don't think a lot of people will do that. Eli Manning would be a guy I'm actually considering if Sterling Shepard is playing. This is going to be one of those games where I see him getting a lot of garbage time, and if he's able to get 2 touchdowns miraculously in the fourth quarter, then Eli Manning is going to pay off. Look, he's only 5,100. He's the cheapest quarterback. He's going to be a little bit contrarian in these games. Not a lot of people are going to pick him. And man, I like Eli Manning. I think he can pull it off. Now, it's unlikely Eli Manning is going to be a great quarterback this week, but the Washington defense hasn't been as good recently, and you get the same amount of fantasy points whether it's garbage time or not. Moving on to running backs. 3 running backs I'm going to avoid is Orleans Darkwa. I see the Giants playing from behind this game, and Orleans Darkwa doesn't catch too many passes, so this is full PPR, so I just don't see a lot of safety nor a lot of upside. The only upside you have with Darkwa is if you think he's going to get a touchdown or 2. And another guy I'm going to avoid is Amir Abdullah. I'm not going to pick him. He's going against the Vikings. Don't like this matchup at all. And of course, we're avoiding McFadden. This is an obvious one. He's probably going to be inactive, and if he does play, he's not going to get many snaps. McFadden actually has negative 0.2 fantasy points this entire season. So if we're not picking those guys, who are we picking? Well, Melvin Gordon is obviously the absolute best running back this week, and everyone's going to know that. He's going to be chalk. Some more obvious picks are Jerick McKinnon, Samaje Perine, Alfred Morris, but let's go through some sleepers. You have to mix in some sleepers with some of these good picks. Like, we don't want to go all sleepers, all contrarians. It's good to have at least a couple contrarian sleeper picks in your lineup. One would be Theo Riddick. This game, the Lions could get behind, and Theo Riddick, I see catching a few balls. If he can get a lot of targets, he may be able to rack up enough points to return value. If Darkwa is injured or limited, look for Wayne Gallman, only 3,500. And I think a super sleeper pick would be Byron Marshall. I don't know this guy very well. I'm not too familiar with him. I got to do more research. But hey, he's the number 2 running back. I don't even think Washington has more than 2 running backs on their roster. I got to check that too. I mean, Chris Thompson's done for the year, and so is Fat Rob. For wide receivers, who are we avoiding? This was a tough one. And the number 1 guy I selected, I'm avoiding, is Marvin Jones. I think he'll be matched up against Xavier Rhodes, the shutdown corner on the Minnesota Vikings. So I don't like that. Then the second guy, I was like, who am I going to cross off? Who am I going to fade? And I have to go with Dez Bryant. This is a tough one because I like Dez Bryant. He's a strong receiver. You know, he makes those 50-50 catches. But like I've been saying, he hasn't been good the past 2 years and hasn't been good with Dak Prescott. I like that he's up and down. That's actually kind of good for tournaments like these. But he's going to be matched up against Casey Hayward likely. The Chargers have a good secondary. They got good corners, good pass rush, good secondary. Their weakness is their rush defense. Just based on his name, I think Dez Bryant will be owned more than he should be. As we're talking about wide receivers and we're going to be talking about tight ends, a lot of these guys should be based on who you pick at quarterback. You're going to be stacking. Like, look, Sterling Shepard, I love him this week, but I'm definitely going to be more inclined to pick him if I pick Eli. Other guys I like are Jamison Crowder, Josh Doxson. I think Josh Doxson's going to be a little bit of a sleeper this week. I see him having a lot of upside. He could have a huge game. And a sleeper wide receiver I'm going to go with is Kenny Golladay. He's had one good game week 1, and since then he's been injured and not playing well. This could be the game where he plays well. I think Marvin Jones and Golden Tate are going to be the focus of that Vikings defense. They're going to want to stop those guys. And Kenny Golladay just might get that one big catch, that one big touchdown, and that's a game changer in a contest like this. Another sleeper I have, Terrell Williams. Travis Benjamin could also be a sleeper, but he's hurt right now. So with Travis Benjamin being hurt and Mike Williams being limited, make sure you check up on their status, you know, throughout the week, see how they're practicing. If they're going to play, maybe they both play, maybe they both don't. I don't know. My guess is Mike Williams will play, but will be limited. Terrell Williams, this guy's been pretty much trash as of late, and that's why I love him as a sleeper. The Cowboys, they're not a really good team right now, but they always play smart, or at least they have a good game plan and try to play smart. We have about 7 tight ends to pick from. I'm not including Jordan Reed. I don't expect him to play. So if you did include Jordan Reed, I guess that would make it 8. And this is going to really depend on your stack. And I just want to say, like, for example, if I picked Eli Manning, I'd say there's about a 95% chance I should pick Evan Ingram. Like, if I had 10 lineups with Eli Manning, like, you don't need to do 10 lineups or anything. Just trying to make a point here. If I had 10 lineups with Eli Manning, I'd probably pick Evan Ingram in 9 of those lineups. That's how important of a stack it is. Like, I don't see Eli Manning succeeding. If Eli Manning is not going to be good, like, your lineup's done and you pick Eli Manning. So if Eli Manning is going to be that good, then there's almost no way he's going to be that good without Evan Ingram being good. I think my favorite tight end out of all these is going to be Kyle Rudolph. He had this, like, I think he's going to be contrarian enough. He's cheap. This could be a big game for him. I like it. I think it's good to build a contrarian lineup with him. This is a huge tip, guys, to make your lineup very unique. So let's say I go with Kirk Cousins as my quarterback. I like him this week. So I go Kirk Cousins. I'd strongly consider going Vernon Davis at the tight end spot. What I could do is pick Kyle Rudolph, who's already kind of contrarian. So picking 2 tight ends is going to be very contrarian. Not a lot of people do that, especially a tight end like Kyle Rudolph, right? Because I'm thinking if you pick Vernon Davis, people would be inclined to pick Evan Ingram. I just like to think, like, how is the public thinking? And I think that would be the tight end that people would go to, like Evan Ingram and Vernon Davis, if they were to even pick 2 tight ends, which a lot of people don't. So I go Vernon Davis, then I go Kyle Rudolph. That's going to make my lineup more unique. For defenses, here is some strict logic that you want to follow. So do not pick a defense going against your quarterback. So let's say you didn't listen to my advice and you pick Matthew Stafford. Okay, he's a good quarterback, whatever. If you pick Matthew Stafford in the mini wishbone contest or a contest like that, don't pick the Vikings D. It's not going to end well. It just doesn't work. You're almost guaranteed not to win the big prize. So if you pick Stafford, don't pick the defense he's going up against. Also, you want to try to avoid picking a defense when you have, like, let's say I pick Alfred Morris and Jason Witten. You don't want to pick the Chargers D because a guy like Alfred Morris doesn't catch a lot of balls. He's going to need to get in the end zone or just absolutely tear it up for you for that lineup to be a lineup that wins a big prize. Like, you can still win a small prize, but to get the big prize, like the first place prize, $50K, you're going to need him to go off. And Jason Witten, he's a tight end. You're probably going to need him to get a touchdown. So now we're talking about you're scoring multiple touchdowns. You're looking like you have a winning lineup. And then if you pick the Chargers defense, that's going to be counterintuitive and that's going to kill your upside. So defense I'm going to avoid is the Cowboys D. I don't like them without Sean Lee. I don't think they stand a chance. It's not going to work out. Like, they got to get super lucky against the Chargers. You can just game plan against this and play smart. If the Chargers do that, I don't see the Cowboys defense being one of the best defenses this week in fantasy. Not going to happen. So I'm avoiding the Cowboys defense. And another defense that I'm considering to fade would be the Lions. Like, I don't like the Lions defense this week, but I don't hate them. So it's like a fade, but I'm not going to be like, no way. The Cowboys is a no way. So that leaves us with 4 other defenses: Washington, Vikings, Chargers, and Giants. Okay, and the Giants D is like, that is super duper risky. I mean, do you really want to be that crazy? That's kind of nuts. And I think it may be worth it. If you have a few lineups, you might want to throw them in one. It definitely could be, especially if we see, like, okay, Jordan Reed is hurt. Maybe another wide receiver is out. We know that Terrell Pryor is out. Washington doesn't have a lot of wide receivers on their active roster. Who knows? Maybe Ryan Grant is out. That's not going to bode well. So now if they're missing Reed, if they're missing Grant, maybe P. Ryan is injured or limited, that would make me more inclined to start the Giants D and also make me create a unique lineup. They're the cheapest defense, 2,200, but I'm just warning you though, very risky. A defense I like Chargers D, I'm more inclined to start them if Tyron Smith is out. Definitely. I love the Vikings D. And of course, I love Washington's defense. If Sterling Shepard is out, like, this is going to be worth me eating the chalk. As in, like, Washington defense will be heavily owned by me too. I'll heavily own them as well if Sterling Shepard is out. Again, guys, make sure you follow the link below. Enter the contest. I'll be there. I wish you guys good luck. It also helps support the channel when you do enter the contest. If you guys haven't already, make sure you hit the couch icon over here to subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button. If you're asking a fantasy football question, leaving a comment below. Make sure you use #AskTheBrain. That way I know you're a true fan. Happy Turkey Day.